Hi there, my name's Sebastian Reese and welcome to Dora Marina. And today I'm back here with another Learning Center video based around the different speed zones you should be aware of while out on a boat. And I'm going to categorize these into 3 zones. They're worded a little differently here and there, but these are the 3 basic zones you need to be worried about. The 3 zones being a idle speed, no wake zone, a minimum speed, minimum wake zone, and then a slow speed or speed limit zone. Now, all 3 of these zones can be found everywhere in the state of Florida, depending on the exact lake, river, or saltwater body you are on. But typically, this is mostly intercoastal waterways, but you will experience it on some freshwater lakes, a lot of riverways, and especially brackish water where fresh and saltwater meet. These signs are often marked by white signs with orange tape, red tape. There's usually a pretty consistent color and style of these signs, so they're easy to find. I have seen some variations, but not a lot. I'm also going to include a couple references that we took here at the marina to show you exactly what it looks like in these zones. Now, the first zone is the no wake zone. The no wake zone, as I'll show you here in the footage, there is quite literally no wake. It is called the idle zone or no wake zone because you should take that throttle and just barely put it into gear. Neutral, gear, no more. No less. I mean, just put it into gear and the prop will spin. No more RPMs, no more throttle, just into gear. And that is your no wake idle zone speed. Very simple. All right, as you guys can see, fully neutral spot. This is what we're gonna call just barely bumping it in gear. Put it up. As soon as it engages, hand off. And as slow as it may seem, that's all you really want. Now the second one is probably the more complicated slash up to the discrepancy of the person seeing your speed and or wake. Most of your minimum wake speeds on a boat is typically between 5 and 7 miles per hour. This also varies between every boat, every different size motor, the type of hull you have, what kind of water you're in, how many people are in the boat, the wind, the weight. All that is a factor when it comes to creating a wake in a wake zone. What they're looking for when they say a minimum wake zone, not a no wake, but a minimum wake zone. A minimum wake is just enough to where our waves or wakes are being created from your boat, but they are not then white capping. They're not rolling over. So it's just a nice steady push, and just that barely minimum of a wake is a wake, but it'll be your minimum wake. And from that position where it's just in gear, I'm just gonna slowly go and just tap it. You can see no RPMs yet. And I'm just gonna slowly, see the RPM's going up a little bit. Going about 5 miles per hour here. Not too much over, 5 to 7-ish. This will vary depending on the wind, current. It's pretty calm day overall. So now we're gonna go, we're just in that first part where we start giving it some throttle. See, that's too much. I went too much. And so you see, not much more. We're going almost the same speed we were before. It's almost the same speed, going about 500 RPMs more though, and almost the same speed. That's a big thing to take into factor, because when I come back here and look, even though it's almost the same speed, that's a wake. You can see right here, that determines a wake. That right there is a wake. Sorry for the change of scenery, had a minor technical difficulty. And as for the last zone, it's pretty self-explanatory, but think of it like normal car speed zones. It's usually marked 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 mile per hour. Usually doesn't go over 25 miles per hour because typically that's a wide open plane for most boats anyways. But more or less, you just have to pay attention to the specific mile per hour speed limit signs and follow those speed limits. And some signs, like I'll show you here, will have multiple speed limit regulations depending on the area you are at in that particular canal. For instance, it'll say it is minimum wake or 5 miles per hour outside of the channel and 25 miles per hour inside the channel. The biggest thing to pay attention to is when you're leaving an idle or minimum wake zone is to look for the resume normal safe operation. If it says that resume normal safe, operation. You should be operating your boat at the highest speed you can go safely. And if you don't have a speedometer, I highly suggest you get one, because you can kind of finesse and maybe figure out how fast you think your boat may go, but a sheriff might tell you different. This is just general information to help you understand what these different zones mean, and they are somewhat loosely written because it is up to the discrepancy of the sheriff. But at the end of the day, if you stay within that criteria and always at least go a little slower than you think you should be going, you'll be safe and you'll keep everyone else safe. As well, you can almost always bank on when you're coming into a marina, an intercoastal waterway, rivers, etc., there will always be a posted sign somewhere, whether it's telling you to resume normal safe operation, which means you can go back up to full speed on your boat, or whether it's warning you that there is a no wake or idle speed zone coming up. Again, I've been Sebastian Reese with Dora Marina. This has been another Learning Center video. Let's get you out on the water.